Hey guys, it's Sharon with Little Britain Company. Welcome to my channel. I'm not even going to go too far. I'm just going to ask you, please, 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 if you're here, watch a little bit and then you're going to say, I love this channel. I want to subscribe. And I would really appreciate it. And you know what? There is so much that costs so much these days. It's free. You can subscribe for free and then come back and see me. All right, that's enough of that. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make a one-page wonder with a mini waterfall. This is going to be so stinking cute. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is this is going to be a 3x3, but not all of it. I'm going to cut that off and I'm going to keep this. I'm going to want that for later. And then I'm going to measure this. Sorry, I've got a little measuring thing right here. This is going to be 9 by 9 3/4. So 9 by 9 3/4. Let me do a quick look. I should measure this one. Something fell. Shocking. Okay, so this one doesn't go to the 9 3/4. I need to get a bigger one. I need to get like a 12-inch one. But I do love this one. Let me just line that up properly. And again, I'm going to keep this. And now I'm going to get this, where that came from, out of the way. And go straight to this. And there we go. So on mine, this is my 9 3/4 side. On this side, yeah. So I'm going to start on this side. And on this side, I'm going to score at 3. Yep, we're jumping right in. At 3 inches. And then 3.5, because I'm going to need that for my side. And then 6.5. And then I've got a 1/4 inch here, so 6 3/4. And that's it. So this is 3, 3, 3. I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to score at 3 and at 6. I'm going to get this out of the way. All right, so now, if you can see that, I've scored this down. In a minute, I'm going to do a little chopping. I'm going to move this down just a little bit so you can see better. Pull this out a little bit. And I'm going to quickly show you. I'm going to just use, this is a big old thing of pieces. If I need anything, I'll pull it from here. I also have, this is my metallics. So I'm going to just be using offcuts. And then this is from some of the Christmas paper that we've been using. So I have a decent amount of that in here, which hopefully I'll have enough and it'll be the right size. We'll see, because it's a little bit small. It'll be okay for some of it. I have other bits and pieces to use. But I'm going to start by doing my cutting. I'm going to be getting rid of the 4 corners carefully. So, if you can kind of see that, I'm going to cut literally right on the inside of my score line here. And I'm actually going to cut all the way through to there. I'm going to take that out. That scored part right there. I'm going to do the same thing on each side. I'm going to just go right to the inside of the score line as carefully as possible. And I'm going to cut all those out. Okay, I got all that cut. And again, I'm going to put these aside. I am going to want to use those later. So this is my base. I'm going to go ahead and fold it. I also need to see if there's anything I need to tweak, because it's not an exact science. When you're cutting and doing what I'm doing here, you know, I may need to trim a little bit here or there. But look at how cute. All right. So just wanted to see. Usually there's one side that just ends up being the natural inside. All right. So there's the base of the book, of our little book here. It's so cute. Okay. So right away, we're about ready to start putting some pieces on. Now, I am going to do what I often do, which is if I want to remember to put a ribbon on it, to put a closure on it, I need to do that right now. So I am going to do this. I'm going to zoom you in. I can move this up here so you all can see what I'm doing. So my tabletop is a grid. So I know this is 3 inches. I'm going to put it pretty close to the 1/2 inch mark. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge with that. The other piece that I need to do is the back, is this side, not that one. If you accidentally put tape on that one, don't stress it. You're going to cover it up anyway. So it's not a big deal. Okay, so now I'm actually going to move that over just a little bit so you can see I've got the tape here, and I'm going to kind of come across and get it, you know, as close to across as I can. I usually do the back ends near the end, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a little burnishing. Now, because I'm not using a collection, I'm going to go ahead and start deciding what I have and what I can use. I'm going to start with this and see if there's, you know, if this stuff is usable. Most of this came from a single collection, or maybe 2 collections. I honestly don't remember which ones. And it looks to me like I was cutting the exact same space for most of them. And they are going to be too small, because these are all the same size and they are too small for that. So it leaves me with that. All right, I think these are the same as that one. All right, let me see if I can pick another collection. Okay, so this isn't even one of the ones I'm supposed to be working on this month, and I don't know whether... I have the Baking Spirits Bright. I actually know exactly what I'm doing with that one, so hopefully that'll come out this week or next week. Before the end of July, so I can finish that one up, and I'm almost done with the other ones that I wanted to use. But I grabbed another one. So this month I've been doing so many, I've been grabbing different collections to work with. So this one is a Hobby Lobby collection. I think this is going to be pretty cute. I have not worked with this one before. I'm sure I grabbed it. Who knows what year I grabbed it. Anybody seen this one before? Do you have any idea what year this was from? It's really pretty. I do like it. It's got a lot of nice options, a lot of simpler options. I do have a tendency to stick with lighter papers, but I've got a little traditional there. This looks like a floral design mostly. All right, so let me go ahead and pick some of my papers to go on here, and then I've got to decide if I'm going to do, let me pick the papers, and then we'll decide if I need to back them. Well, I'll do it with you. Skip ahead if you don't want to do this with me, but I think I'll do it with you guys. So I'm thinking, I like that one. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you need 10 papers in general, unless you decide to mirror, which I sometimes do. There are times when I've mirrored all the way across so that when you open it up, oh, that might be pretty. I wonder if I have one that I can do that with that I would like. Oh, but that doesn't make sense if I'm going to be doing them. I know I'm talking to myself. It happens so often. I really like this one with the jingle bells. Let's see what else is in here. I'm trying to remember that I have my brain, other bits and pieces that are going to go on here. I do pockets. We'll do the waterfall. Just kind of looking for papers. I'm not going to do that one. Let's see, I've got 2 blue. This one is a lot of red and green. This one's got a really nice combination. Okay, I do like the idea of lightening it up a little bit. I love that one, but I don't know if I'm going to use it with this one. I already did that one. There's another heavy-duty green. No. I pulled that red. I think I will pull that one. All right. Let's see where this gets me. All right. Let me think about the order of these. Okay, so I sorted my paper a little bit. I have a better idea of what I'm using for that one. My next step is actually going to be getting my waterfall ready. I'm only going to use 2 of the extra sheets for the waterfall. It just gets to be too bulky if I use more than that. So let me grab my cutter, my other guillotine. I need these to be slightly smaller. This edge here is kind of getting in the way. So I'm going to first cut that off and see where I am. I need it to be slightly smaller than that. This one is really not an exact science. It has to sit. Okay, hopefully you can see that score line there. This piece has to sit, or these pieces have to sit on this side of the score line and inside that one. So right now I'm just playing with it a little bit, taking off small sections, and oh, that's about perfect right there. So I got it to be about perfect. It's about 2 7/8 of an inch. That's about 2 7/8 of an inch. I'm going to trim this top part because I just do not need the score line. That is still 1/2 inch. Okay, so the first, for the first one, this has to be, I have to take 1 inch off of this one. Is that right? It could be right. I take 1/2 inch off of this one, and then I take 1 inch off of that one. I think that's right. Let's do it. Okay, if this should be right there at 2.5 inches. And then I've got to make this next one 2 7/8, which is about there. Okay, and then this one needs to be 2 inches. Let's see. Oh, that's what it is. I'm losing an inch. That's what I do. Okay, I have to think about this every time. Okay, so with this particular waterfall, I'm going to attach these to each other. Just because there's not enough room for me to layer them down. Normally, what we would do is this, right? So they'd each be kind of independent of each other. By doing it this way, I can still lift that one, and I'll still be able to lift this one. It will make this part thick. I had to remember all that. I did promise you guys to do this, so I am just trying to uphold my promises as best I can. So, okay. I am going to go ahead and we're going to put a little bit of glue here. I don't want to get it into that crevice. And I'm not going to put the paper on. Let me see if I have a little. Okay. There. And now I want to line it up here. Make sure it's not crooked. And it's not too far down, because right now it is. I should always do things from the side. There we go. Everything bends. Everything is approximately where it needs to be. I'm going to go ahead and burnish that. There. So, now I have my little waterfall. It's so cute. It is so cute. Now, sometimes what I'll do is I will put a tiny pocket at the bottom. But the pocket has to be pretty skinny. So I'm going to think about whether or not I'm going to do that with this one. But I am not done. I have these wonderful extra pieces and I want to use them. So I am going to, I believe, let's see. Trying to decide whether I should extend that one or whether I should extend this one to open further. Because again, with all of this extra wonderfulness, you can use all of those for, all of the pieces, but you do need to trim them. Let's see how close we're getting here. So, if I attach this one here, so slightly different from a waterfall, but only slightly. Let me trim this next one. Sorry, I'm off camera. I want to make sure these are the same. Ooh. pretty darn close. Okay. Okay, what do I want to do here? So I'm not actually going to add anything to these inner pieces. I will have a pocket to go onto those. Mostly because they would just get too full. But I do have room on this guy. But there's my other bud. Let me do this. I don't know if I'm going to add 2 pieces or just 1. So I can extend it outward, and I could extend this one like that. So it opens this way, which I'm thinking about doing. It needs to be a little bit smaller. And once I extend it, okay. So then we would have this that would go, when you open it up, that would go up, and then that would go down. I mean, it's really as fancy as any of the other albums that we do. Let me make sure that, this one. Oh, plenty of room. We have plenty of room. We have a whole 1/2 inch right there. And that's kind of why I chose that size. But this one's going to be a wee bit tight. Getting glue everywhere. Okay. Let me make sure I put it there and I fold it over there. Okay, cute. And then let me test it. Doing good. Now this last one. So we kind of took our waterfall and we've taken it to a whole nother level. Now this last one, let's just make sure everything closes properly. Looks like we're doing okay. And I'm going to do the same thing. I actually am going to take just a touch off the bottom there. Oh yeah, I think that's better. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to put this guy together. And lower him on here and make sure he's lined up properly, because that's actually super duper important. And all right, so let me show you what we have. Let's try that again. Okay, so this is going to be your little album, and it is super sweet. Once you get that. All right, so it opens up, and you're going to have your little waterfall here. And I grabbed a couple of pictures of little Bert when he was little, so you can see once I take off this is just extra long, but that picture fits there. And then there too, he's so cute. This was from King's Dominion Winterfest years ago, not even that many years ago. Okay, and so then this is a plain and simple, and you open it. When you open it, you have that. You have that, and then this one comes down, and when it's completely open, this is a full-sized album, and we're not done. We still have pockets to put in and a belly band. So, oops, wrong way. But it does have to go in a very specific way. Okay, time to start cutting and putting in your pages. I think that what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and make mats for each of these. Most of the mats for this, because these are 3x3s, most of the mats should be 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. So I'm going to start to do that for most of them, and then I'll probably need to trim a few here and there just to make it all fit properly. Sorry, and to that end, I'm going to be using these scraps. I just have a bunch of these off-white scraps, and I think that these are going to offset these colors nicely. I think it's going to bring it, you know, kind of calm it a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut the ones that I'm pretty sure I'm going to need. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my golly, I think I've lost count. Let me do the outside first. I'm gonna lay it flat. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then that's going to make 14. So I need 14. That's a lot. Okay, I'm going to need 4. I don't know if I have enough here, but I have more of this. So I'm going to get started. So just to check it, I'm using my my eCraft paper cutter for this part because it's easier for me to measure, and I can preset this spacing. I don't have to look at it each time. I'm just, right, you know, now I can just go and cut. But I'm just taking a quick look, and yep, the 2 7/8 is perfect. It gives me a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. So if I can just remember to count what I've got, I'm going to start with 1 and move on from there. And hopefully I've got some of these that are going to give me several at once. But I do love that I can just go right like this. That just makes it super easy. Now, this one is too small, but I'm going to put it aside because I may need this for one of my waterfall pages. Okay. Sorry, I'm laughing. 13. Okay, I only have 13. I'm going to go with what I have right now just to make sure that I don't need something smaller, because I have all of these, some of which are super close. So instead of cutting anything else yet, like that one, wait a minute, is that what it says? It's just off by a little bit. Anyway, instead of cutting anything else, hopefully I'll be able to get my last one out of this and I won't have to. And then, so next I'm going to take a look at the papers. So any papers that are going to go on, and I have some that will. Let's see. I'm not going to worry about my cover at the moment. I know that this one's going to get just a straight paper. This one will, and I'll add the pocket later. So I know that I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I need 12 papers that are going to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 to fit on top of those. So that's going to be my next one. This really does go, especially if you were going to make a bunch of these, once you have a plan and you have your papers in place, it can go super fast. So sorry about that, because I got so wrapped up in cutting and making that I forgot to show you guys where I was. Okay, so let me just catch you up. I know this was a leap for you all. I stopped for a minute. I was cut up all of my my mats, and these were 2 7/8, just a recap for you and for me. And then I cut up a bunch of my squares, and I know if I cut too many, I'll have other uses for them. So I cut up a bunch of my squares into the 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And I've just been kind of working out a design that I like. So this is kind of where I'm getting right now. I like the light to dark look here. So haven't decided what to do with these guys yet. And then I folded it over, and I'm liking that. Because again, if you go here, you do see this, and I'm okay with that. And then it opens up, and you've got this. Now I'm going back and forth again about what to put here. I don't think there's another light colored paper that I would rather have there. Well, I mean, there's this one. I haven't used it at all. So I could switch this piece out with this one. And that would give me another light colored. So I don't mind repeating some of them through here. And I do like that repetition. What did I just do here? But I needed something different here. Okay, let me just I'm just going to move this out of the way for a sec. Move these over here. So I've left this one set up so it's just easy. This was already set to the 2 3/4 inches. So when I have to cut a piece of this guy, now I'm just gonna have more Christmas scraps. That's okay, because I think I'm gonna, before the end of the week, I think I'm gonna start making a bunch of little cinch notebooks with my scraps. Okay, let's see how that looks. Actually, there's already one there. Yeah, I like that. I like how I'm going sort of dark to light to dark to light. Too much dark would not. Okay, so now I want dark on the outside, and then I can't, this is my center. I'm just going to put that aside because I can't hold on to that one there. I don't know what I'm going to do with those yet. So, I wonder. So when that's closed, so this will always close before that does. Make that up. So that will close, and then that will close, and then that will close, and then it'll go over here. So my question is what to put there. I love how this thing just kind of flips around. That's not my only question. My only question is not what to put there. So I'm probably not going to match up. I have this one down here. So let me see. And that's dark, so I'm going to go with a lighter one here. Okay. And I have to think about when this folds over, what's going to be here. So with this one, I actually like the idea of having light, dark, light, and the same one here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this last piece out. I'm going to use it there. I have done some repetition. Get that one in there. Okay. Cute. Because this is going to get, that goes in the middle, and then I'm going to cut this ho ho ho, and I'm going to cut it down to this section, And that'll be a pocket there and a pocket. So I'm going to have a pocket here and a pocket here. And then usually I don't do too much. I don't do a whole lot of additional stuff here. It gets to, it bulks up quickly. It just does. I think, what am I going to put on the outside? I could do green, red. What if I do this on the outside? Kind of a mirror here, that one, and then that one. Or I could do that and that. And then what am I going to do at the bottom? What if I do that, that, and that? Yeah, now it's just about figuring out the final details. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. I am going to do, because this one doesn't, so I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do this one in the middle, and on the bottom, I'm going to do one of these. First, I need to get my ho-ho-hos out, and then for my pockets, and then I'm going to cut one that fits there. And the only thing I'm going to be left with are my covers. I guess that's the easiest way to put it. They're not really covers. Okay, so first, I don't want to move that. I'm going to do this. And that. And put that aside, because that's going to go on the bottom, so I'm going to need that whole piece. And then I want to use up all right, now I'll put this back to the 2 and 7. Make sure I get it where it's supposed to be. And these are going to be my pockets. One there. One there. Okay, let's see where we are. I am going to put these aside. So what this one's going to be is I'll have this one here, that one in the middle, and then that one is going to go down there. Yeah, I like that. All right, let me put these aside because these are going to require a little extra work there. And I'm ready to start attaching. Now I still have to do something with this. I'm not actually going to leave that empty. But I am about to do a whole lot of gluing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hang out with you guys while I glue, but if you decide that you don't want to watch me gluing, you can absolutely fast forward. One thing about these papers, most they're all, I believe, 65 in weight, but when you combine all that together, you've got a really nice, substantial, hope I got that on there right. Make sure I can fold. I got a little bit close to this, but shoot, it's not going to come up now, so it'll be okay. I'll put that there. Okay. actually. This is going to take a while. Let me glue all these on, and I will bring you guys back to do the waterfall. So as I cut and attach the waterfall pieces, I will bring you guys back for that. So I've got all the paper, most of the papers on, and this is so cute. So it opens up. It's so stinking cute. Easy enough to put a picture on here. Why are my pictures? How did I lose my baby's picture? Okay, there it is. So even with this picture is 3 inches? This is 3 inches. So it goes pretty much to from top to bottom. But wouldn't that be cute with a little white box around it and then attach that to any one of these? I also went ahead and got these guys ready. So, yeah. So we're going to have some little pockets. Really nice and simple. And my glue's dried. Let's see if I got it. There we go. Oh, that's way too much glue. Okay. This is going to go right over. There you go. Right over that. And then so is this one. So now I have a couple of simple pockets waiting for, there we go. Come on. So, a couple of simple pockets. And what this will do is it will fold up like this, and then that, and then I did something funky here. I don't know what I did. I know what I did. Oh no, guys. Okay, let me see if I can fix this. I'm going to have to pull this guy off. Oh, that's a shame. I'm trying to do it without ripping. So what I did was I wasn't paying close enough attention, and I stopped short of that line when that should have been included. So it's okay. I've got more of everything. First, I need to get this off of the corner. And then most of it can go over the top. Now, this will weaken that paper, but there's going to be other stronger papers on the top, so I'm not going to worry about that one too much. What I am going to do is need to get that paper off. Most of it. Come on, I don't want to damage the rest of the paper. I'm going to keep you guys here instead of pausing the video. Just to, you know, it's only fair. We all make mistakes. Some worse than others. But I'm not throwing this baby out with the bathwater just yet. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to have a small thing on the spine there. So let's redo this. This piece should go here. Oops, I should have done that. Okay, so I am going to, I should have another piece of that, guys, somewhere over here. Yep. I'm going to recut this piece really quick because that was a big mistake. So this piece needs to be 1/4 inch. 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So, yep. So that was not great. Luckily, it was definitely salvageable. And because we're doing these layers upon layers, that helped with the salvaging. Okay. Luckily, I caught it before that glue was... It could have been worse. Let's just put it this way. Really could have been much worse. All right. So, something to keep in mind when you're doing this one, just be super careful to put this one where it needs to be. I'm going to go ahead and use, so these bone folders can help a lot when you're having paper issues. Okay. That's better. Crisis averted. I will tell you, I probably could have reused this guy. I mean, really, he's mostly intact. But it would have been weaker. And I may use that on something else. But it would have been weaker. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is attack those wonderful... Sorry, I got to turn my fan on. The air conditioning doesn't quite reach as much in this little room. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is these wonderful little guys here. Now, the whole thing is 3 inches, right? So I've taken a 1/2 inch away from here and a 1/2 inch away from here. So this one should be 2 by 3. And this one should be 2 1/2 by 3. So I do have this one. Let's see if that's going to be absolutely perfect. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this one in. I'm going to do paper. This decorative paper. That is the wrong way to do it, Sharon. Gracious. See, once I make one mistake, it's all over. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one prepped, and I'm going to attach it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do my other two. And then comes the decoration and ribbon. Put it like this on the side. I want to make sure that it isn't going to interfere with any of the folds. Perfect. Let me go ahead and how cute that is. So when you unfold it, you've got that. And then that one goes up. The pockets. Okay, so now these. So if this was This is going to need to be 2 7/8 by 1 7/8 for the outside. So I'm going to use this board because it's more precise. So this one needs to be 2 7/8. Do it this way. By 1 7/8. I can't get that thing all the way in, but that is okay. Wait. Yeah. That's my 2 7/8. Wait, what? Did I grab the wrong one? I'm having some fun. Okay. So that piece should fit like a glove. Nice. Okay, so the other piece needs to be 2 7/8 by, that one's 2 1/2, so 2 3/8. So for that other piece, 2 7/8, and I'm going to grab another piece over here somewhere to get the length. This should work. So 2 7/8 by, what did I say it was going to be? 2 3/8. So, yep. Now, my only problem here is that I need to skim it down a little bit because I had to make it slightly smaller. They both need to be a tiny bit trimmed, just because of fit. I'm just going to grab this one to shave it out of the way. Literally. I'm going to just keep checking back. A little bit more shave. I don't want to go crazy here. That might have been crazy. Oh no, that one worked out well. Okay, so that's that one. Now this one also needs a bit of a shave. This is just where you have to get, I'm gonna just do a sliver, just a sliver. Okay. That looks good. Okay, and then, what did I decide I was putting on top and bottom? Do I even remember? Okay, so I had, let's see, when we open this up, here they are, there's the two. Move these out of the way for a second. So I believe I'm going to use this one here and this one here. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to measure this. Let's see, make sure I've got the right one. Yep, the red one goes on top. So I am simply going to use this. Grab my pencil and line it up. And we're going to go that and right there. So there's that one. And then if you've never done it this way, what you can do is line up exactly how one corner should look. Yep. You can't see that. I'll show you here. Let me move this out of the way. Move what I can. There we go. So what I do is I line up, that's approximately that 1/16 of an inch. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to get this as close to the sides where it needs to be cut down to. That's probably a little bit off. That's how I do that one. Just for your viewing pleasure. If you had never done it that way, that is how I do it when I don't want to measure. There's one. This one is a little shave. And then the next one, I know I put marks there. There we are. Couldn't see it for a minute. Let me get that one to line up properly. And okay. Now all I have to do is attach it like I did the other ones. And we're golden. I don't know why sometimes it works better on one side than others. That looks crooked. It is crooked. Is it crooked? Just a touch. Maybe. Now let's see. Okay. My wonderful glue does not want to come out. That one and this one. Now I am going to leave the top portions empty. However, they would also work really well with just an empty one of these off-whites on the top, just to show where the picture goes. Of course, you can always put the picture. You put the picture wherever you want. Right on top of the decorative paper would also be very attractive, I think. Okay. Put that back in. All right, so here's what we have so far. We have got our wonderful, cute little waterfall. And then to fold it in, there's where we are. Now I just have to think of the front and the back. So I think I decided I'm going to use this shiny green as the base, or as my mats, and I'm going to mat it here, here, and here. I'm going to try to get a mat for that one. That's teeny tiny, so that's might be a little hard to do. All right, so my first mat, 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Let me get this one up and make sure I've got it. Yeah. Put that aside for a minute. So that's my first one. And I'm going to do 2 of these. One for the front, one for the back. And then, I'm so close here. So that is not going to give me my 1/2 inch. What is that little thing? Oh, that's just the way it's sitting. So I'm going to have to cut my 1/2 inch somewhere else. And I do not know if I'm going to be able to do a 1/4 inch. It is very hard. Well, this ought to be interesting. So I need to go a little bit less than 1/2 inch. Let me see if that's going to work. You really have to, this one's just tough, man. A little bit shorter than that, actually. I'm going to bring this one kind of as far as I can. Let's hope that's straight. Oh, it's not straight. Had I gotten it straight, I would have been right on the money. Darn. Okay, I'm going to try to do this with my scissors because it's tough. There we go. Okay. Cute. I'm going to go ahead and do I'm going to glue this part down, and then I need to get the ribbon out and figure out what I'm doing for the ribbon. Go. Okay. So what we're going to have is this and this so far. And then on the back, I'm going to do these. So stinking cute. Just so cute. All right, let me see if I can find a ribbon. I did not have to go far. So I'm going to use some of this seam tape. And I'm going to cut those pieces just like that a little bit. So for my next feet, so these are small pieces that probably I should have cut that bigger, but I know that when I cut it down, when I cut it down, that's approximately where I'm going to want it. So I'm putting it in the center. I am not terribly worried. That's very, very little. It'll be fine. I'm going to be gluing it down, so I'm not terribly worried about adding anything extra to it right now. Okay, so that's the front. Let me go ahead and do the back. And I don't normally glue it. You know, the glue works fine on this shiny paper. Generally, I use tape, but I'm just lazy today. So not really. The glue works just as well. Okay. And this is so stinking cute. I'm going to get that pretty much right on there. And so for the final one, just keep in mind the directionality. It does open like that, because this one does have a direction. I gotta wonder, how many of us still are wondering what we want to be when we grow up? I don't know. There we go. All right, there's that. And then this. And then I think it's going to need something decorative on the top. I'm going to figure out the decoration for the top. So this one's right there. Okay. All right, give me 1 second. And we'll take a look at the finished product. Okay, so I went into my handy dandy extra cut aparts. And now I just have to decide which one I think is going to be the cutest on here. I like that one. Oh, I like the car. With the Christmas tree, I like the car. So I'm thinking I could put the car on a tiny bit of that right there. And give it the decoration that it so deserves. I like that. But I'm going to bring that car down just a wee bit. Yep. All right. I'm going to do what I sometimes do here. I'm going to go ahead and attach the cut apart to the background. I am not going to round these corners. I don't know why. I just don't feel like this one should get the rounded corners. This is really, really cute. Okay. And I am going to first put the glue back in my mouth. I'm going to cut this way first. It's going to give me the biggest chunk intact. Close. I can cut it down in a wee bit. Let's see how that does. Okay. A little bit more. Yep. Cute. Okay. And I like him. I really like that. That was shockingly easy. I hope you guys like it. Let me know, please. I really value your input. You guys are great about tips and tricks and what you like, and look how cute. Oh, I just lost my head. There it is. All right. I am very, very pleased at how this turned out. Shockingly pleased at how this turned out. So let's take a look. All right, you guys ready to take a look? I am tickled with the way it turned out, especially that I used, got into a whole nother pad of paper. But I'm going through the paper quickly, which is lovely. Okay, so I matted the covers with this metallic green. I love the way that turned out. And this is from one of the paper pads that I've been trying to smash. It's really cute little cut apart. I went ahead and did the green metallic on the spine, one of the spines. And then again, you got a little green metallic here. I did manage to cut a piece small enough to put the green metallic here. Okay, so you open it up and right away you've got this really cute little waterfall, and it is the perfect size. So this one, I'm actually going to take this one down. It is about 2 inches by, let's make it 2 inches. I have quite a few of these. I'm not ruining anything. You know how you get the kind of the package deals? Okay, so we have little Brit when he was littler. So you can see how well these 2x2s fit, but even better, that's cute. And the 2x2 does fit on the inside of that one, but you can put it here. Okay, so I'll put him aside. And we've opened it this far. I did do some of the matting, and this sticker is from the same Christmas paper that we've been using, the Santa Claus Lane paper. This is just a place. A lot of these are just simple places for you to put pictures or journaling. Open it up and you've got Let It Snow. Then you can open it further and you've got all of these places for pictures. And then, let me get that out of the way. You can open it even more. Isn't that cute? Okay, so here I did put a pocket in. I made a cute little tag. And it fits right there. And then I did go ahead and make sure that I put reinforced the spines. There was nothing small enough that was going to fit here other than that piece right there. Okay, and then it opens up. I added this cute little Santa. He is not a tuck spot. I mean, certainly someone could cover him up if they wanted to, but I just thought he kind of looks cute there. And then we have another pocket and another really cute little tag. Then I'm going to go ahead and fold it back up. And that's it. There are 14 different places for pictures. So as a little brag album, you can fit quite a bit. You just have to use the 2x2s. You could even do a 2.5 by 2.5, depending on what your picture is. And having to knot it like this just does not bother me at all. Mostly because you're not gonna tighten it, because you would destroy the paper itself. So I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I'd love to see if you guys do one. I am looking to do a live show next week. So let me know if you all would prefer 2 p.m., so 2 in the afternoon, or if you would prefer 6 p.m. Little Brit has band camp, so I have to pick him up pretty much between 4:30 and 5:30. But let me know if you're interested in watching a live show and which one of those times works for you. In the meantime, have an amazing, wonderful, fabulous day, and I will see you next time. Cheers.